We've made it to the final week of the month, and we're going out in style because we have everything from some nasty uppercut KOs to some submissions that might make you hurt just by watching them. And we have a fighter that sets the record for the fastest KO in KSW history, which is 5 seconds in case you were curious. But first things first, let's get to our fan comment of the week, which goes to FN Hot, who said, seeing him tie up the arm with his legs and roll into the Kimura had me tap, which was in reference to our submission of the week where Eduardo Pena locks this arm up with his legs and then just gives it a nice roll and cranks the Kimura where he instantly taps. This one was definitely a little painful to watch, and I got a feeling you'll feel the same with some submissions we have this week. What's going on, everyone? It's the Casual, Lawton Veerkant, and this is Caposa's Corner. Kicking us off this week, we're heading to Eternal MMA 68 in Australia, where we have a bantamweight matchup that sees Michael Barber with an even 4-4 record, and his opponent, Anthony Drilich, has just a 3-1 record. We're starting this week off strong because as we near the 1.5 minute mark of round 1, just ignore the inconvenient camera angle change because we have the replays, but enjoy this beautiful knockout. Yeah, so it was kind of hard to see what exactly happened live, but you can see from this angle that this huge overhand left just lands perfectly and immediately turns the lights out, and then the one ground hook sneaks in just before the ref can get over to stop the fight. We are setting the bar high this week by starting out with this one, but congrats to Drilich on this amazing knockout and for securing this quick first round finish that improves his record to 4-1. Now we're going to take a look at Fairtex Fight Promotion in Thailand, where we have a catchweight bout at 155 pounds that sees Witsarut Numnoy with just a 2-1 record, and he's taking on Thirafong Chai Kayu, and he only has a 1-0 record. This one is almost deja vu to the last one because, again, we are just a minute and a half into this one, and we're about to witness one of the 3 nasty uppercut KOs that we have this week.
Samir's go-to shot so far.
It makes a lot of sense, especially against a bigger opponent.
Yeah, talk about an onslaught. Look at it from this angle. Aside from the flurries he's throwing, these last 2 uppercuts, he pulls his opponent's head down into it, just making it that much more devastating, and this second one is all it takes to send him to the canvas. This is another fighter that's really early into his career, but it's gotta be rewarding to land a highlight-worthy clip like this, so congrats to Thirafong on this win and for keeping his record clean at 2-0. Up next, we're going to take a look at Open Fighting Championship in Russia, where we have 2 fights to show you. For the first, we have a lightweight bout between Everton Rodriguez in the green shorts and with an 8-5 record, and he's up against Nikita Podkovalnikov in the red shorts, and he also has an record of 5-4. Okay, so not the best records, and this fight does end up making it to the 3rd round, but with just 30 seconds left, it is not looking good for Rodriguez, and, well, then this happens. Oh yeah, Nikita gets that left leg tied up and puts on the calf slicer, which only lasted about 2 seconds before he is forced to tap, putting a stop to this one. I feel like every week for the past month we've had just some crazy submissions, and this week still has plenty to go, but calf slicers are just so awesome, and this one was locked up beautifully. So congrats to Nikita on the great submission and for improving his record to 6-4. For our second fight at Open FC 22, we have another crazy submission, and guess what? It is time for Caposa's hand-picked submission of the week. Here we have a featherweight matchup that sees Isan Magomedov in the red shorts, and he's just making his pro debut, and his opponent Nurtalik Jelenbakov is in the green shorts and has a 5-1 record. So that seems like the scales are tipped a little bit in his favor, but it's MMA, and just over a minute into the first round, Jelenbakov takes the back, and, well, who do you think is gonna take the win in this one?
Ну, пока вроде бы СН терпит. Очень серьезная растяжка нужна для того, чтобы терпеть этот болевой прием, но все-таки сдача.
Well, that answers that question, and we see yet another random and rare submission. Jelenbakov, while on his back, secures this left leg and immediately puts the Sulawev stretch on, proving yet again how flexible I'm not, because it took just over 10 seconds for the tap, which I still don't know how anyone sits in that position for any amount of time. And we've been neglecting our submission lovers lately, so hopefully this week is making up for that, and congrats to Jelenbakov on another another win and for improving his record to a nice 6-1. Moving on, we're gonna head to Eagle FC 50 in Kazakhstan where we have one fight to show you, and oh yeah, it is time for Caposa's Prospect of the Week. Here we have the co-main event welterweight title fight for the interim belt that sees Azamat Gigkayev with a nice 7-1 record, and he's taking on Imam Shapi Mukhtarov, who has a very nice 10-0 record. Alright, finally, some nice matchmaking. Two fighters are doing a little bit of back and forth for the first two rounds, and then we make it to the third, and well, just halfway through this round, who's your money on for Prospect of the Week?
Break your spirit, break your timing. That's it. Brutal body kick.
A snapping liver kick, one folded opponent, and ladies and gentlemen, we have our Prospect of the Week. So yeah, let's talk. This win puts Mukhtarov at an insane 11-0, and he's only been fighting for just under 5 years. And although this wasn't a huge, flashy KO where his opponent was out cold, it definitely shows some of the power he has alongside some highlights like these where he's sent his opponents down in the past. But that's not all. He's also got 4 submission wins on his record that really show just how great his entire skill set is, which makes this guy a dangerous opponent anywhere. And it's not like Eagle FC is some small-time promotion, and this was his 3rd win here, so I've got a feeling we'll see him on a larger stage soon, or back on the show with another impressive win. But until then, everyone welcome your new Eagle FC welterweight champion. Off to visit Arabic Ultimate Fighting Championship 40 in Egypt, and yeah, that font and name seems like a copyright infringement everywhere, but oh well. Where we have 2 fights to show you. For the first, well, I couldn't find an event page or either fighter online, but we've got Ahmed Abdelaziz in the blue corner wearing the green trunks, and he's taking on Mustafa Halim representing the red corner and in the blue trunks. And yeah, before you say it, this quality isn't the best, but this highlight was just too good, and remember how lately we've been seeing more and more slam KOs? Well, this week we have 2, and they're both at this event. What the hell just happened? Yeah, not just 1, not 2, not even 3, but 4 slams, and this last one was just brutal as he got spun around and went face first into the canvas, just putting him to sleep instantly. Caposa called this one a "how is this shit legal" moment. And yeah, these slam KOs are just brutal, and Abdelaziz does pull off this crazy first round win and gets a nice highlight in the process. For our second fight at Arabic Ultimate Fighting Championship, I actually found a few details, so we have a middleweight matchup between Hussein El Wash, who is just making his pro debut, and his opponent Bassem Sadek has a nice 4-0 record. So not even 10 seconds into this one, and we go to the ground, and Sadek does secure this triangle, but I already warned you we have another slam KO coming, so I think you might know how this one is about to play out. Yep, 1 slam and he's out, but he still sneaks in a few ground hooks until the ref jumps in and this one is over. This was just a brutal week of highlights already, so the fact that there were 2 slam KOs in the mix of all these other insane ones just proves how fantastic of a week it was on the regional scene. And Hussein does claim this upset, giving Sadek his first professional loss and also making one hell of a pro debut. Now we're going to pay a visit to our friends at KSW 73 in Poland where we have 2 fights to show you. And for the first, oh yeah, it is time for Caposa's KO of the Week. Here we have a catchweight bout at 213 pounds that sees Damian Pivovarczyk with a 5-1 record, and we actually featured his rear naked choke win last year, and he's taking on Bogdan Nidko, who has a very nice 7-0 record, and he's making his KSW debut. Okay, it's KO of the Week and the fastest KO in KSW history, so here we go.
Damian Pivovarczyk takes on Bogdan Nidko. Oh, and straight away, it's all over! It's a finish!
Wow, a glove touch, a caught kick, 1 overhand right, a slam to the canvas, and a few strikes on the ground, all within 5 seconds. I know I've said this before, but I literally don't even know what else to say about this one. Nidko just dominated this fight, and I'm sure caught the eye of a few people in this organization solely on how quick this all happened, but props to him on making this impressive KSW debut that keeps his record clean at 8-0, and we sure hope we can see some more from him in the future. For our second fight at KSW 73, we have a middleweight matchup between Jason Radcliffe, who has a 17-9 record and has been fighting for 11 years, and he's been in promotions like Bellator and Cage Warriors in the past, so he's definitely got some experience on his side despite his record. And he's taking on Radoslav Pachuski, who just has a 4-0 record. I told you we had a few uppercuts this week, more than usual at least, and well, we've got yet another one in this fight because as we just passed the halfway mark of round 1, do you think the 11-year veteran is going to show the new kid how to fight, or do you think he's going to come out on top?
But like I said, Pachuski's... Oh, and look at this! Pachuski!
Ignore the broadcast glitch just after the uppercut. I know it's annoying, but don't worry because we have the replays. Pachuski just sneaks this uppercut through the guard and leaves his opponent standing while asleep, and then follows it up with a few misses except this one right hand, and that is all this one takes to put an end to it. Fantastic win from Pachuski though, as he claims a nice name on his resume and keeps his record clean at 5-0. And for our last fight this week, we're heading to Rage in the Cage 89 in Oklahoma, where we have a heavyweight bout between Jeff Farmer, who is just making his amateur debut, and he's taking on Corey Boydson, who is also just making his amateur debut. So this is another one that barely gets started before it's over because this one only lasts 10 seconds.
Oh, wow. My God! Boyston drops him with a devastating right hand.
Yeah, he got knocked out so hard he woke back up and decided to wrestle the referee. That huge right hand just throws him back, and then these last few ground hooks just turn the lights off briefly until he comes back to and doesn't know that this fight is over. Those were just some nasty hits from Boydston that I'm sure he's pretty happy with because that's definitely one way to make a statement in an amateur debut and one hell of a way to claim a win. Alright, it's the final week of August, so you know what that means. We're adding our final 3 selections for the top KO, sub, and prospect for the month of August. So don't forget to go back and watch the other 3 episodes and then leave your top 3 choices down below in the comments, because next week I'll be going through all of them and letting you all know who the top 3 were for this month. And we don't know why Caposa still helps us out because we just don't deserve it, so go give him a follow on his Twitter at Grabaka_Hitman. And you can also show him some support by checking out his Patreon at patreon.com/Caposa. And if you want in on all of this regional MMA violence, check out his website GrabakaHitman.com for weekly live schedules and the easiest way to watch all of these crazy regional fights. We also want to say a huge thank you to all of these amazing organizations for hosting these events year-round for our viewing pleasure, and to each and every fighter, winners and losers, and we will see you all on the next video. Peace!